Okay, this morning we are in Battlefield Park, downtown Belize City, and this morning we have Brother Bobby Lopez. Tell us what's the significance of today's activities.
Well, today is International Anti-Corruption Day, celebrated around the world by countries, but especially by citizens who are standing up against the scourge of corruption. And we know that in Belize, it only gets worse. Every year, the corruption gets worse, so much so that now one of the ministers is saying that no government will ever rid corruption from government affairs. We're saying the people are the ones that will get rid of corruption. And so we call on Belizeans, we must come together. That is the theme under the United Nations. Together we can fight corruption, together we can get rid of corruption. It can be done, but Belizeans, today you need to make a conscious declaration that you will not be involved in corruption, you will not pay bribes, you will not receive bribes, you will not condone corruption. And only so can we eventually rid this country of corruption and start seeing true development take place, where we can afford to give our children free education, where our hospitals can be the best, where our roads can be the best. That's the only way forward, folks. We have to hold our leaders accountable. We have to make sure that we know where those campaign finances are coming from, because he who pays the fiddler names the tune. And we know that corruption in politics starts with who is financing the campaigns, where is that money coming from, and how is it going. Do not lower yourself to where you actually are paid for your vote. Don't accept it. Please, Belizeans, we have an election coming up, and this is where you can put a stop to corruption.
Mr. Lopez, is there any mechanism right now in government that can deter corruption? Or if not, what should be done?
Well, we enacted 25 years ago, we enacted the Prevention of Corruption in Public Life Act, 1994 to 2019. 25 years, less than 10% of our elected officials obey that law. And that law comes with a fine and confinement in jail, but they don't care. Back in 2002, 2003, we signed on to the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption. That's under the OAS. Nothing has happened. 2016, we signed the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. They're still not implementing it. They know that when they implement UNCAC in its full manner, that an autonomous body has to be created, similar to what we saw in Guatemala with CICIG and other jurisdictions. That body cannot be touched by the Prime Minister or anyone, and they take people to court and they convict them and they put them in jail. That's what needs to start happening in Belize. Corrupt persons need to pay that penalty of corruption. It's a crime. So what Belizeans can do, we are not holding the politicians to these conventions, because you know what? They do everything not to implement it, not to abide by it. We, the Belizean public, need to start coming together and hold them accountable. And if they're not, then quit voting for them and putting them in power, because you're going to have more of the same.
So you are saying the bottom line in the solution is the people?
It's the people. The Honorable Patrick Faber exactly said what it is the people who are corrupt and the politicians are corrupt. But if we stop taking that money under the table, or taking that money for our votes, and if we stop paying the politicians and paying the public officers in government to do things at the Lands Department or in the Customs Department or whatever department, corruption can stop. Corruption must stop. So yes, Belizeans, we're calling on Belizeans today to make a personal declaration that I will not be involved in corruption. I will not pay a bribe, I will not take any bribes, and I will report corruption when I see it. We have to, look, this cannot continue. So yes, Belizeans, the onus is on you. The responsibility is on each one of us to stop corruption in this country.
So what's the next activity you're going to be doing?
Well, today we're doing our part to raise the awareness, the messages we bring on these placards. We're going to be out here till about 2 o'clock. We have permission from the City Council to use the Battlefield Park. We'd like to say thank you to the City Council for giving this opportunity. Battlefield Park is very significant. This is a battle Not a one-day battle, not a two-year battle. This is a lifelong battle that we must continue to fight against corruption and every scourge that is bringing our jewel down. Look at the murders, everything that's taking place in Belize. Man, this is not the Belize that we want to leave for our children. So Belizeans, especially those before independence, we have an obligation to leave this country a better place, a safer place for our children. We must do it.